And we should be live. Yo. Welcome to another episode of the Culture Controversial Podcast. I'm your host, Simply Nicholas 87, and my co-hosts T Hard and D Ron. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
Hey, man. Again, I'm happy to be here, man. Just one day at a time, just trying to live life abundantly.
And salute to everybody that's pulled up to the channel. For all the new people, y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. As you know, we're on the road to 200, and we're moving up pretty quickly, man. We're right at almost to the 120 mark already. So we've been getting things going around here. Again, for everybody that does not know, I am doing a giveaway starting Monday. I have a wheel, and I'm about to put it up on the screen right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, there it is. Finna put it up on the screen. Yeah. Y'all should be able to see me in just a second. Okay. It has a lot of stuff. Anyway.
We might need to go to a quick commercial break.
All right, so this is the wheel. Yeah, I had to go to a quick commercial break. I was getting the wheel to pop up. There, it should pop up just a second. Sometimes it's got a little delay.
So kiss a little longer.
It should
last a little.
right.
Josh Norman. Uh-huh.
Let me do it this way.
Oh, okay. Wheel. I got you now.
The layout I need.
I saw Josh Norman back there. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
I perform like Josh Norman, and I ain't normal.
He is the poster boy.
What Jay-Z said, I be speaking to life with no safety belt. One woman in the corner with no safety help. I perform like Josh Norman, I ain't normal.
Well, I hope he took that line back though. You know,
Josh Norman at that time that was coming off that year he had with Carolina. Josh Norman had one good year in 2015. Made all pro. The former Coastal Carolina Chanticleer.
Yeah, he did.
He and Mike Tolbert both played at Coastal Carolina.
Right. Yeah. Here's my wheel.
Made him look great.
So we get to go full screen. Yeah, it did. Made him look damn nice. This is our wheel. We're up to 39 people. The draw will end Sunday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you do not have your entry in, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and send me a screenshot either on Facebook or IG to enter into this raffle. That is the only way. And I will be doing this 3 days. Monday, I'm going to do the first draw. And Thursday and Friday or Saturday, I will do the last one. Now, I said if there's more than the exceeded amount of people, I will do a fourth mystery prize for the giveaway. So you guys take advantage of this. Is free. You ain't got nothing to pay for. If I got to ship it, I'm covering the shipping. Take advantage of it. I would if I had the opportunity. So being said, let me get out of this so we can get right into the show. Exit phone. I'm gonna come on through this way.
See,
All right, I think that's should be straight.
Let me take this off.
Let me take this off.
Stop screen.
Stop screen.
I'm going to.
So I'm going
Wait,
to.
is it coming in?
Wait, is it coming in?
I think it got a super echo. Hold on. We might be going through some technical difficulties. I'm trying to figure out how to fix this. Hold on, I gotta back out. Wait, is it? Okay. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I got it fixed. I don't know what was going on with it. Let me do that. Gotta change my picture eventually.
And that Kodak Black or Cam Newton?
Yeah, that's my guy from the. If you ever seen the courtroom scene where the guy was defending himself, and he was like, "If you think I'm here to play with you, God damn it, I'm not."
Nah, I have to look that up.
Yeah,
I think right now just me and you. I think Ron ain't here.
Hold on, I think he's still. Yeah, I got him. There he is. Yep.
Yo, I'm here.
Oh, okay, we're good now. Yeah, I got a different avatar, so yeah. Anyway, if y'all seen the wheel, y'all seen the wheel. I will be doing that, starting that draw Monday. So don't want to miss out on that. But I'm gonna get right into today's topic. I spent 7 minutes trying to figure out technology. Uh so let's get into this NFL, man. We are maybe 2 weeks from preseason, if not less.
Probably the Hall of Fame game, probably less.
I'm about to say it should be about a week.
Yeah, Hall of Fame game is usually like that first weekend in August. Or like sometimes they have it on Thursday now, the Hall of Fame game, but that should be like
switch me over to the new one.
Oh, okay. Hold on, let me I got you. Add stream. I'll take this one off. Okay.
Got me?
Yeah, you good?
Okay. Good.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the NFL season this year. I see a lot of good things coming from different teams this year. One team that I'm probably putting my money on this year is Tennessee. I will say that. I will put my money on Tennessee this year for the AFC. For the
win the AFC?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I put my money on it.
You think they're gonna run the ball 40 times and throw the ball 8 times a game and actually get the Super Bowl?
I mean, Tampa Bay technically almost did that.
Tampa, they threw the ball downfield too throughout the season.
They threw it downfield, but yeah, that's
all
all they did too. I mean, they just bombed the ball down the field.
Tennessee doesn't really have much of a passing attack at all.
When they got one additional weapon, if he stays healthy, they can make some numbers.
So Julio Jones, I feel like he's gonna have career lows in numbers, and he's gonna be very unhappy there in Tennessee. That is not an offense. That is not an offense that's trying to push the ball downfield.
So
He's
you
gonna be
think
a
he's gonna
block.
stay
He's gonna
put
be a
in
he gonna be a
Atlanta?
blocker. Well, he already left Atlanta and traded him, but
Well, I mean, traded. Man.
I think probably. I mean, he stays hurt all the time anyway. Now, I think Tennessee Titans are probably a playoff team, but I don't. I feel like they're a team they're probably losing the wild card round like they did last year. And then right now, depending on who all got enough people with vaccines and stuff, and who gonna have players missing games because of the protocol and all that stuff, we don't know any of that. So who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not that excited about the NFL season at all. I don't like the fact they're playing 17 games. I think that's just gonna you're gonna probably have more injuries and stuff that way too. So I'm not
how's
even,
the playoff system gonna work now? Didn't they change that as well with the?
same as it was last year with instead of 6 teams in each conference, it's 7 teams now. So only the top seed is the only one that gets a bye. So the second seed has to play a wild card game now.
That's
I don't even know why would you expand the playoffs. Why are you making it easier? The playoffs shouldn't be something that's easy to get to, so you shouldn't do things to make it easier to get to the playoffs. That's supposed to be an exclusive group, and that's supposed to be the best of the best. So it shouldn't be anything you shouldn't be lowering the standard. Just like the NBA with that play-in tournament, you shouldn't be doing things to give lesser teams a chance to get in the playoffs. Like, why are you trying to encourage mediocrity?
That's true. I was getting ready to say that it's kind of the same thing as that. I was gonna say like
Money.
The NBA is more like it is a give me too, but it's more like
it's rewarding mediocrity, and it's a microcosm of what society has become. To where we want to tell everybody that they're all winners and want to give everybody a chance. The thing about it, if you want to be elite, if you want to be a part of something exclusive, if you want to be amongst the best, that's not something that everybody gets to be a part of. That's the reason why it's considered an exclusive entity. That's why it's considered greatness. Things like postseason, things like championships, things like MVPs, those type things. Those are the things that are reserved for the best of the best. And for something to be special, it can't be something that everyone achieves or something that's easily attainable. If that's the case, it wouldn't be special.
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't see why they went 17 games though. You go ahead, D.
It's a money thing. It's money. It's what T said, and I think it's still all balls
money.
down.
Yeah, you're right.
Money. It's more they can set up some type of, I guess, a facade of something being big, just like the playing game that made it big. And if you experienced the playing game, the NBA playing game, that was the worst thing I ever seen that they could even create. Like, that's like even with the Horn. I just wish they just would have never been in that and just been
a playoff team.
Just been just a lottery pick team, a normal lottery pick.
Yeah,
didn't
win anyway. So, I mean, like you said, it just everybody's type mentality type thing is kind of coming into play with a lot of these sports now.
Adam Silver, and I'm not gonna try to delve into politics, but Adam Silver is nothing but a liberal appeaser. And no, I'm not a conservative, but still, I'm more of a centrist. But Adam Silver is a liberal appeaser who wants to be involved in every agenda, who wants to be involved in every liberal platform, and wants to be a champion, a champion for a liberal movement, and he tries to incorporate it into the game, and he incorporates it in so many levels to the point to where you have stuff like this. It's like anytime, just like for example, like franchise owners in the NBA, they don't call them owners anymore; they call them governors because people were offended by the term owner. I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. If you're the person that holds the stock or holds the equity in a corporation or franchise, then you therefore are the owner. So any business feature that you may have that you hold the equity or the stock in, you're the owner of that business. You're not the governor of it. That's not comparable to slaves or anything like that. That's whole. They're not the owner of the players. They're the owner of the franchise, the entity. But people got upset, namely Draymond Green and Silver appeased to the whole thing and made it where that you're no longer allowed to use the word owner. You have to say governor. That's the type of stuff when I say a liberal appeaser. That's where he wants to have his hand on every liberal platform and wants to incorporate that mindset into the game. And I wish he would go away because everything he does, you could tell that there's that it's rooted in that liberal agenda that he has. And he pushes it onto the game. It's like even like when he's wanting to change the game, when he was wanting to implement the mid-season cup thing so it could be like English Premier League soccer. It's like I understand being progressive, but sometimes he's overly progressive. I'm like, basketball is basketball, soccer is soccer. Quit messing with the game to try to make it into something else. And that's where I wish he would go away. But usually when someone pushes an idea on him, or it's like, if somebody complains about something, someone says we want this, he just appeases and goes right along with it. Like, I'm not gonna hold you up, Nick, but one more thing I want to mention. One time he was considering changing the intentional foul rule. You know, the whole hack of Shaq thing, where you should when you foul the person before when you get in the penalty, just make miss free throws. He was people were complaining about that, so he was wanting to change the rules so you wouldn't be able to do that anymore. Like Jeff Van Gundy said, you mean to tell me that if a guy can't shoot free throws, you're gonna bail him out by changing the rules to keep him from having to shoot free throws? Like, what kind of message does that send? That's what I mean when I say that Adam Silver is a liberal appeaser. But continue.
Now, so let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask both of y'all this question. With 17 games, do you see that kind of how the NBA had the condensed season? Do you see the 17th game being a problem as far as like either more injuries or I about to say more injuries because that's about the only thing I can sum it up to.
Probably. Also, it's just it's unnecessary. I'm like, you done had prior to that. You've already had 16 games to determine where you need to be. I don't understand its purpose. What are you gaining by playing that? Obviously the money, but I'm talking about what are you gaining by playing the extra game? And now that the season is 17 games, the players need to start getting a bigger slice and their contracts should be higher now because think about they're playing more games, and they should see the revenue from it as well. Because that mean when you're talking about the TV deals, you're talking about probably an extra Monday night game and all that stuff. They should also get a slice of the increased revenue, and I couldn't believe the NFLPA went along with that because now the players should also benefit from that too, since they're putting their bodies on the line for one extra week. They should also reap the benefit of the extra money that's going to be made off of it.
So now technically they're actually playing, let's just say for example, the team that actually goes all the way and wins it, they're playing what 24 games in total?
Well, depending on if you get a bye or not. Because I think preseason's only gonna be three. The preseason's only gonna be 3 games. So
3 games.
I don't think see, and and see that's something I don't like either because the biggest cop out that people used to make about preseason is that you need to shorten the preseason because you get so many injuries in the preseason. Shortening the preseason will not decrease injuries because most injuries in the preseason happen in the first 2 games because most of the time the guys are not loose and they have the soft tissue issues, the hamstring issues, the ACL, those type things. That's from practicing out there in that sun and haven't gotten to properly stretch or whatever the case may be. And they go out there for the first time in game action. And usually, if you notice that most season-ending preseason injuries, those non-contact injuries happen in the first 2 games. They're not happening in the 3rd or 4th game because in the 4th game, the main people don't even play. It's the people that are fighting for a roster spot. Typically, even in the first 2 games, the first game, usually your starter's only playing about a series or 2. And then they pull them. It's just a day. But usually those injuries happen in that first 2 series or so. The second game, they might play a quarter. It's only game that the starters really play a whole lot is the 3rd game. They play the first half and halfway through the 3rd quarter. And most of the time, you're not getting significant injuries in that 3rd preseason game. So the whole shortening the preseason, they were trying to use that as that will compensate for the injury risk of adding the 17th game. No, it doesn't because most of the injuries in the preseason happen in the early part of the preseason anyway. Another thing that by losing a preseason game, it also gives you one less week to evaluate your rookies and the guys that you're trying to evaluate for roster spots. So when it comes to development that takes place in the preseason when trying to settle out your roster competition and all that kind of stuff, it makes it harder on coaches because typically that 3rd game was a dress rehearsal game for the starters and the guys who were on the cusp of making the final roster. That 4th game was for that. Now that 4th game is gone. Now you only got 1, 2, 3. So I'm guessing the first game is the one where you play a series. The second game is like the dress rehearsal, and the 3rd one is like the one where the guys are trying to make that final cut. You need those 4 weeks to kind of get those guys in game shape and in game rhythm to get in their groove. It's not good to jump right into a season when guys aren't ready. So I mean,
now
I don't like
I've been to a preseason game. It's been about 2 years ago, and I went to the Panthers Patriots game, which it's been about 2 or 3 years ago. And I noticed that the starters they didn't play, but I think they probably played maybe a series or 2 series. But they were done before halftime, put it like that. That was probably the third game in the preseason. Third week anyway. But I
It
know
could have been.
because Cam and Tom Brady didn't play. I don't think they played this. That they played maybe 2 series and they were out, and everybody else just played the rest of the game.
Was
So
that the
that's what
game
I'm
where
saying. Like,
where Cam hurt his foot?
yep, that was that game.
Yeah, and the thing about it, he didn't get hit. It was just a freak thing where he was scrambling out and
Yeah,
pulled it up. Yeah, he didn't get hit or anything. That's just one of those things that happen that suck. But
yeah.
I've
He
never
definitely did.
I've never been to a preseason game. If they're not charging me a cheaper price, I'm not going out there to sit there and watch that crap.
They ain't paid like $20 for the tickets.
Oh, well, never mind. I was about to say too dang on hot.
They paid like $20 for the ticket.
You're seeing people like Taylor Heineke, people on. I ain't spending my hard-earned money to watch that crap.
Taylor Heineke's a Panther too, man.
Ain't he with the Redskins now?
Yeah.
He's somewhere.
Ron Rivera.
He was in the XFL after we got rid of. No, that wasn't him. That was Garrett Gilbert that was in the XFL for a little while.
Yeah.
We had him here
played
in
good
Carolina.
that game, man. He was decent.
Jay Walker from the Panthers do now got him, the guy from the XFL.
Yeah, I remember he started that game against Detroit last year. We won that game 20-0 actually. I was like, good. It wasn't because of him. His defense won the game, but still good for him.
Yeah.
He hate me as the best XFL player the Panthers ever.
Well, he was a good punt returner and kick returner.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember a couple of years ago he went missing and stuff, and they found him alive. He was
In
he was
Florence.
living in but he was living in Indian land. So, but you said they found him in Florence.
Yeah, I think they found him in Florence. He was somewhere down in South Carolina.
Like near the beach somewhere like that.
But
I
like,
think it was Florence.
It might
but
have
like,
been
but what happened though? Like, I know that did he just not call nobody to tell him where he was at, or like why did it had he got CTE and went crazy? Like why were they thinking he was missing?
an issue.
Yeah.
I think he had an issue, like a mental breakdown. I'm not gonna say it was related to CTE, but it definitely was like one of those.
It wasn't
where
really
he,
terrible.
Yeah, like where he had a situation where he just took off and ran and just didn't tell nobody where he was or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they had it before. And I was like, oh man, I was like, when they gonna find him? And then they like found safe. I was like, oh, good for him, man. Good for him.
Well, thank God, you know.
For real, man.
They need to take care of these players, and that's another thing with these 17 games. I'm not saying that they're not doing anything for the I guess what you call concussion protocol, but it's getting. I feel like it's getting worse than it's getting better.
Well, here's the thing, Nick. Not to mean to cut you off, but the one thing about it, and I never played the game, so before someone said, well, he never played, that's beside the point. If you play football, you're going to get concussions. I mean, there's a good chance you're going at some point. I'm not. Of course, we understand the seriousness of it, and of course, it needs to be taken seriously. But the point I'm making is you're not going to eliminate it from the game. The best thing you do is try to make it as safe and minimize the risk of getting it. And when you do see it, recognize it immediately and treat it immediately, and not let players stay in games and make sure it's diagnosed and treated properly, and try to do things to reduce the risk. The thing is, some of the changes of the rules have gotten so ridiculous. Like the whole thing about when you sack a quarterback, you can't lay on them with your body weight. Like that's just ridiculous. And the only reason they made the rules because Aaron Rodgers broke his ribs. But the thing about it, those things like that are going to happen. You're going to have injuries. You can't change the rule. I remember every time something happened to Tom Brady, the rule changed. Once he fumbled the ball, to change the rule. Once he tore his ACL, to change the rules about how you hit a quarterback. The thing is, just because someone gets hurt, it's not like you can change the rules. The thing about it, when you're out there doing that, there's a chance, just like in NASCAR, there's a chance that when you get there, you're going to wreck your car against something and may never see your family again. That's the chance you take every time you get in when you race in stock car racing, period. So the thing is, when you go out there in the field, there's a chance you might suffer an injury. That's a chance you take. Now, granted, you want to make the game as safe as possible, so you don't need helmet-to-helmet hits. Of course, launching and leading with your helmet, that needs to be taken out of the game. But what people don't realize, most of those injuries like that, head injuries, happen on special teams, primarily on kickoff return.
Yep.
So if you're so on kickoff return, things like that are gonna happen. It's just when you're the thing is when you're going out there, you know the risk. You try to be as safe as you can. Hope for the best.
Because you can't get blindsided.
Yeah, they're
That's
starting to
first
throw
safety.
flags. They're starting to throw flags on those some of those blindside blocks, even on the line. They took away the chop block, and they took that away. You can't chop block anymore. I don't think you can cut block anymore either.
No,
I
you can't
think they.
cut block.
Yeah, I
You
remember you could cut block back in the day.
Man,
That was the best thing to do.
the Denver
Especially coming off
Broncos,
the edge.
Alex Gibbs, with offensive line with Denver Broncos, they were notorious for that zone blocking, and they would cut block you on as well. And that's how all the running backs and stuff were getting so many yards, man. They were going right up under guys' knees. You can't high low anymore either. They took the high low out, and those are good things. Those things that I think is good you're taking out, but certain things like some of the most of the rules are ridiculous are the ones when you're defending against the quarterback. Like you can't lay on top. It's like you can sack him, but you can't lay on him when you sack him. I'm like, so what? You got to sack him from the side. I'm a little confused.
So what if you sack him and like somebody else falls on top of you, and it takes him a minute to get up? So that's
all right. That's gonna be if it's Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, somebody's gonna be a penalty. If it's if it's Cam Newton, Deshaun Watson, or somebody like that, with Deshaun probably won't be playing. Name you know where I'm getting at though. The guy that played for the Cardinals,
Murray.
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 Yeah, and you see where I'm getting at. If it's somebody like that, no, it's not going to be a penalty. I mean, you can stomp him, get an AK-47, and shoot him, and it won't be a penalty. But when it's their darlings, it's going to be a penalty. If it's one of their darlings, if you breathe on them too hard, it's going to be a penalty. And you know exactly where I'm getting at.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at.
Every time I talk about football and quarterbacks, I get in that. It just makes me hot. But go ahead.
It was evident with Cam, though. It was so evident, man. Like, especially, was it that season?
I'll tell you what game they're playing against the Oakland Raiders when Carson Palmer was playing quarterback for the Raiders, and that dang on Ed Hockey was refereeing the game. We won the game, but I'll never forget this. We sacked Carson Palmer. Palmer scrambled out. He still had the ball in his hand. It was a sack. Whoever sacked him, Greg Hardy or whoever, or Charles Johnson, when they sacked him, his helmet hit him in the ribs. They called roughing the passer because it was like he hit him in the helmet in the ribs. Yeah. I'm like, he didn't hit him. It wasn't like he released the ball. It was a sack. He had the ball in his hand. He scrambled out, and he got and Charles Johnson chased him down. And when he sacked him, they said his helmet hit his ribs. They called roughing the passer. On the same game, a series later, just before Mike Mitchell played, Mike Mitchell was playing the Raiders. Mike Mitchell came down on a blitz and sacked, and Newton was had released the ball.
Yep.
And Mike Mitchell came in there and hit him and lifted him and drove him into the ground right in front of Ed Hockley. And Cam Newton got in Ed Hockley's face and was like, nope, there was no penalty for that. And that's when Cam alleged that Ed Hockley told him, you're not old enough to get that call or whatever the case may be. Yep. But I'm saying, like, this is the same game where one quarterback has the ball in his hand and gets sacked, and you call roughing the passer just on a clean sack. And then on the same play, a guy has thrown the ball, and then the blitzing safety comes and hits him after the ball's released, lifts him and drives him into the ground, and you don't call a penalty? I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, shout out to Greg Hardy.
he kind of took a whooping in that UFC pay-per-view, didn't he?
He got too happy. That's what happened.
He did.
He thought he had
He was beating the brakes off one dude and one of them.
He was beating the brakes off that dude, and dude caught him with that
breaking news: the Russell Westbrook to the Lakers thing is official now. Lakers land their veteran point guard acquiring Russell Westbrook from the Wizards for package including Kyle Kuzma. So there's that. Just I ain't about to read the whole thing right now, but cause it'll take me off of this if I click on it. So, but I saw.
Congratulations, Russell Westbrook.
Well, correct? Congratulations for what? It just got traded. What's it do? Hold on. What did Kobe say? What Kobe say? What's there to be happy about? Job finished. Job not finished.
Honestly,
I love that.
I'd rather pay Bradley Beal, but I mean, it is what it is.
So would I, but I mean, I get what it did. You got to realize one thing about it. Anthony Davis is going to get hurt and probably miss about 25 or 30 games. And at least if you got some firepower. And then even with what Davis bringing on the glass, this is a guard. He can rebound too. He can get. He's a great passer, so he can get other people going. He's gonna. You're gonna get Max Miller. He's tenacious. He's not an efficient shooter, and the fact that only thing that bothers me is I'm afraid because he and James both love to have the ball in their hands.
They do.
And Westbrook is not like a guy that's going to back down and be like, "Oh, LeBron, you're the man." He ain't that kind of guy. He's one of those like "F you."
I
feel like, but I feel like the person who's gonna suffer the most is Davis. Well, Davis will go from being a 25-point a game guy to being like a 16 or 17-point a game guy. Because think about it, he's not the one with the ball in his hands. James gonna have the ball in his hands, and Westbrook gonna have the ball in his hands. That's already kind of got me a little. That's gonna take a while to work itself out. But a guy like most of Davis Davis is gonna be exclusively a floor spacer. He's gonna be stand in that corner and shoot threes, and that's what it's all. He's gonna be Kevin Love.
Like I told somebody,
Chris Bosh.
I told somebody the other day, I said I give Russell Westbrook I give him an A for effort because he will hustle on every play. I will give him that.
Yeah, and he's a tenacious player. One thing about it, you're going to get the best effort out of him.
Yeah, regardless of what he score or what he do, he will put it all he got. But I can't say that.
Davis is going to have to stand there. I mean, when he played Oklahoma City, when he and Durant were together, I mean, they were always basically in the Western Conference Finals almost every year. At least often they were in the Western Conference Finals. And they even got to an NBA Finals together. So let's not act like he was just some bum that never won. Right. I know a lot of people act like that though. But you put him in a situation with James Davis. I mean, it should be a good team. Still, I don't know if it'll be enough to win the whole thing because you're going to have some people around him. But like I said, Davis is basically going to become a floor spacer where he's just going to stand in the corner and shoot threes. With James getting older and his body starting to break down, you still got someone who got some firepower and some punch. And I think what's going to happen if they're good defensively, guys like Davis will still be able to get some scoring, and James and Davis all get scoring in transition. Because what happened, Westbrook also like to push the tempo, so maybe you'll get a lot of scoring in transition. Hopefully, I feel like Dennis Schroeder's gone.
What's up, baby?
I feel like Dennis Schroeder is gone. I wouldn't mind having him as a backup. He backed up Westbrook in Oklahoma City one year and was good as a backup. But last year, actually, the year before this past season. But I think he's gone. It's going how you're going to fill up the roster because you got to realize he got a big contract on him. Davis got a big contract on him. James got a big contract on him. So I'm wondering what you got to have some depth. I'm assuming that Caldwell Pope and all that and Kuzma's gone in that deal. So
and Kuzma, those three are gone.
So Caldwell Pope, Montrezl Harrell, and Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, that's those three in the 22nd pick.
I figured that was gonna happen. That's about all you could really give up. I mean, honestly, we probably could have gave up too, but
yeah. So now I'm like, well, as far as your depth, like what you got? Because they're not signing Dennis Schroeder back. He wants too much money.
He ain't worth the money either.
He's okay, but he's gone. So I'm just talking about depth now. So we know Dennis Schroeder's gone. I think somebody else wants Alex Caruso. That's dead weight anyway, but he's gone.
Good hustle player.
Who else they have on the roster? Wesley Matthews is a 1 year deal player. Horton Tucker probably gonna be the starting shooting guard, so keep him.
DeMar does want to come to LA.
DeMar DeRozan, man, leave him where he at.
He gonna end up getting there. I'm tell you. It's gonna happen. It should. I agree with you. It's gonna happen.
He's not a good outside shooter. He's a mid-range shooter. That he's a good player, but his game doesn't fit with what they got. You got Westbrook. If your perimeter is Westbrook, James, and DeMar DeRozan, that's not a good. I'm just that's a clash. That's a styles clash.
Oh, I agree with you. I'm not taking that away from you.
And for anyone listening, people are gonna say, "Well, Dwayne Wade was a mid-range shooter, and he and James played together." I was like, "True," but at that time they were both elite defense. Those Miami teams were elite defensive teams, and a lot of the scoring was coming off a transition created by defense with James and Wade, and they were scoring a lot of points in transition from steals and live ball from turnovers that they forced, where they were scoring a lot on the break. Whereas now, at the age James is, he's not going to be doing a whole lot of running, and DeRozan's not necessarily that fast break runner. He's more of his offense is more kind of on that Rip. He can isolate better than Rip Hamilton, but I'm talking about mid-range jump shooter like a Rip Hamilton, but more of an ISO guy. So he's an ISO mid-range guy. You got Westbrook, who's
ISO also
ISO who just throws it up from wherever he's standing sometimes, and then you got James, who's an ISO guy. That's a styles clash if DeRozan's there. If that happens, my prediction is this: Frank Vogel will be fired by Christmas because what happened?
Oh, there it is.
Leave it to Jenny and Rob Pelinka. If that shit happens, it's gonna be because of them.
Nah.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the Lakers
too. And
they're probably gonna get off to a slow start anyway. Just a sluggish start. If they get off to a sluggish start, everybody's gonna look because those pieces. It's gonna take a minute for those pieces to fit. They're gonna look at Vogel, and at Christmas, he either gonna get fired or he gonna resign, saying that he needs to spend time with his family.
He got fired.
Who's gonna replace?
Oh God,
that's gonna be the question now. Like I can't.
They're doing interim thing, like make Brian Shaw the interim coach or something like that.
We lost Kidd though.
I didn't want him no way. That's not a loss. That's good riddance.
It's about Jason. I don't really worry about Jason.
Jason Kidd ain't done. Just giving the head coach twice in the NBA already ain't done nothing.
When he went to Bucks,
about no Jason Kidd.
Who was the Bucks? Who was his other team he was on?
I don't want to hear a thing about no Jason Kidd.
I know he's head coach.
Jason Kidd,
Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn when they had Paul Pierce and Garnett when they were all having senior citizens when they thought they were building a super team. When they went to the nursing home to get the super team, they lost the first round.
Was it Gerald Wallace? Gerald Wallace.
The CNPGA tour.
Yeah. They lost in the second round.
I see it coming.
One year that he left and went to Milwaukee. You know, the year after he left Milwaukee is when they became like the top seed in the East. I think that's cool. Yep. They were the 7th seed that year. The last year they fired in the middle of the season, and then winning and had a winning record at the time. The All-Star break, he traded from Williams, and they won after that. Then the next year he got fired in the season, and people I don't know. And when Dallas started, I'm like whatever. It's such a sought-after coach. People getting mixed. Great Hall of Fame player, but he hasn't proven anything as a head coach. People getting caught up in the name Jason Kidd, so they getting caught up in the sizzle, they're getting caught up in the steak.
To your connection,
so no, I
quite hear you. I think you're singing.
Am I coming in clear? Coming in clear?
I hear
you. Hold up. T.
Yeah,
I think you got like a bad connection now.
Well, let me go out and come back in.
Okay. Did it? Okay. It might have just been a bad connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember. I feel like Rob and Jenna fucked that up. I see it coming.
Okay, they're gonna mess it up. Well, I mean,
I see it, bro.
LeBron has his hand in the cookie jar too, but it's gonna definitely be her.
Yep, I know it is. We're gonna start off like we did that year when LeBron first got there. We're gonna be like somewhere between that 7-ish, that 5-7-ish range.
Yeah.
And we might pick a little steam up. We ain't finna be top 3. The same team that was there this year is gonna be there next year.
I don't know about the Suns though.
That be the only one I would say that might not be there, but Denver and Utah, they're gonna be top 1 or 2.
Yeah, Denver and Utah, I think they're gonna be there in the West for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you I just walked in on this. Yeah, Utah been there to get their butts put out in the second round again.
It's hard to say who can get out.
It ain't gonna be no Utah Jazz. No, I do the Denver thing with if Jamal Murray's healthy. I ain't putting the Utah Jazz up there unless they add somebody else in there. I like the player, but we're talking about the promised land. You're talking about a team that was playing against a team that was without best player. You had the home court advantage in the series. Series tied 2-2. You're at home. The other team is without their best player. You let them come in your building after you had a 20-something point lead or whatever. Let them come in your building and beat you, and then you go in there and lose the next game after you had a 2-0 lead and you lost 4 straight games with 2 of them without their best player against the 4 seed. And you want to talk about being elite and they're going to have a good team. They're going to have a good record, but unless they add something else there, they're as good as they're going to be. They kind of surprised people this year.
I don't see the Clippers going for.
Well, Kawhi tore his. Kawhi tore, even if Kawhi returns, he tore his ACL, so he knows he's going to be out at least 9 months. So I mean,
he ain't come back like after January. Probably it's March. Him. He may not come back.
Yeah, because if he scratches fingernail, he's out for 6 weeks. So he'll complain about the training staff. So I think they'll win. The Clippers should have won. The Clippers are favorite 2 years in a row. Oh well, so I don't feel sorry for them. Who knows? But as far as Utah Jazz going to the finals, I don't see that at all.
No, I ain't saying like finals.
We really don't know
the finish. You like how they'll finish in the West?
Yeah,
I feel like they're about 4th.
Utah,
like 3rd or 4th, something like that. Yeah,
well, I would say they'd probably be top 3. I know we ain't gonna be at top. We'll be looking to make 5. I give us 5th seed at highest.
They got enough. I feel like they're about 3rd seed. They got enough talent there for that. They would have been like 2nd seed this year if it weren't for all the injuries. Before James, at the time that James sprained his ankle, the Lakers had the second or 3rd best record at the time. And then when James missed all those weeks, that's when they fell down to 7th. So if they're healthy, they should be something like that.
We definitely need some bench players, and that's really the main thing. Bench players, definitely bench players.
There's enough talent out there.
I see that much. Like they ain't gonna be able to play no 40 minutes a night. Night in, night out.
No. They finna load man the shit out of LeBron and AD. What?
James not gonna take load management. He's too much of a competitor to do the load management. Davis is too young for that, but he'll do it. But I'm not that big on Anthony Davis. I think he's a good player, but I think he's vastly overrated. He got a championship, clearly being the Robin to LeBron James, but when he was the guy in New Orleans, they were just there. I mean, he was nothing significant.
Yeah, that's true. I can't argue with that.
So I don't. AD is one of the guys, just like DeMarcus Cousins in his heyday. You put up numbers, but he never elevated the team.
No, that showed when he got to Golden State how much importance he was.
Well, I mean, by the time he got to go, to be fair, by the time he got to go to State, he had gone through all the injuries and stuff. Then, I mean, he was at that point he was damaged goods by that. I'm not going to hold that against him. He was damaged goods at that point.
Well, you're right. I take that back. When he got to New Orleans, he was dominant. Him and AD was dominant in New Orleans. I give him that one.
Oh, dominant in what? They put up good numbers. What the hell do you mean dominant?
Yeah, good numbers. Yeah, not as far as a team, but as far as numbers, yeah, they had.
And then he got hurt that year. Before he got hurt, there was something like 26 and 21. Then he got hurt, and they actually went on a nice run when they moved Mirotic to the starting lineup. They ended up winning the series, but Cousins wasn't there. He was hurt at that point. They beat Portland. They beat Portland in the first round and lost to Golden State in the second round. Anthony Davis, that's the only playoff series Anthony Davis won before he came to the Lakers. These are facts. And all the years, the 6 years that he played in New Orleans, he only got them to the playoffs twice. I'm not making it up.
No, I believe you. I'm not taking it. Like
I said, he'll show out during the season and made it look like they were winning. But they was always on that cusp of the playoffs where they were 8 and 9.
Yeah, something like they'd be around that area, winning about 39, 40 games, something like that. And here's the difference. Like when you take a guy like a Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's scoring when you need points scored. Like I've seen times where Davis might have 35 points, 19 rebounds, and 4 blocks. But like all 35 points, lots of time may have come out of them 35 points, 31 of them probably came through 3 quarters. So when the game is in a tight game, when the game is in balance, he's not scoring or making plays for anybody when you need it. So you look at that stat line, it's like looked at this dominant night. But I'm like, but he's not making plays in key moments of the game. Well, if you look at like in the finals game 6, that 50 points my man had, they needed every bit of those 50, and those points he was scoring in the fourth quarter. That was in a tight game where they were needing those points. He carried the team on the shoulder. They were down at the time he got shooting, and he was the one that lifted them to get them to victory. Anyone, people don't understand. Sometimes you can just look at raw numbers and say, "Oh, this guy's a player because he puts up numbers." But like, are those numbers having an impact on the game, or are they coming in moments to impact the game when they're needed? Like I've seen plenty of times where a guy might have 30 points, but they had 25 of them through the first 3 quarters. And so it's like, okay, you score a couple of buckets early in the fourth, and then down the last 8 minutes of the game is nip and tuck, and you're not showing up, or even if you're not scoring, you're not even making plays, or not even helping stop anybody, or creating turnovers to get other people going, or anything like that, which includes making plays. If you're not doing those type things at that point in the game, yeah, you put up those numbers, but when you were needed and when the game is going into balance, you weren't there at all, and so your team's still not winning those games, but you're putting up an impressive stat line. So it's one of those. Like, for example, I like Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, I think, led the league in scoring back-to-back years, but it's not impacting the team, and it's not a knock on Bradley Beal. I'm not saying I think Bradley Beal's a good player, but Bradley Beal's not a great elite player. He's just a good player. That's why he didn't make first team All NBA the last 2 years, even though he led the league in scoring. A lot of those are empty numbers he's putting up on a team that's not that good, and especially the year before. And he was putting up empty numbers on a bad team. Whereas if you put him on a good team, let's say if you put Bradley Beal in Milwaukee, let's say he wouldn't average 30 a game. And if he was in Milwaukee, he probably averaged about 19 to 21 a game, which is still good.
Good, yeah, that's still good. That's a good range to have anyway, not being the star, you know.
Yeah, like since the Lakers made that trade, yeah, I'm with you. I would have rather had Bradley Beal because of his floor spacing and his outside shooting.
I definitely would have.
Like when the Celtics got Ray Allen.
Well, I think I did say I wanted Bradley Beal before we was talking about this on the episode. I was like, I'd rather have Bradley Beal than Westbrook. And I said it the other day to somebody.
Just because of the shooting. Bradley Beal gives you good spacing. The same way Ray Allen did for the Celtics when they acquired him from the Sonics. That when they got Garnett and brought him there with Pierce, that made it much easier for Pierce. Garnett was there on the block. Pierce was ISO, and you had Ray Allen who was outside. So that created the perfect spacing.
And then you had Rajon that could just facilitate.
And
play Perkins. And then you had Perkins who collected the check and got to be a starter because they didn't have anybody else.
He went to the best university called Cash. So Cash University.
I thought Perkins came straight out of high school.
No, that's his little moniker. Yeah, he came out of high school.
From Mississippi.
Yeah, he's out of high school. But he just used that as a little thing. Like I can't.
Perkins make me sick.
He's a horrible analyst.
What?
And whatever he comes from the court, it's like he almost get this like good by association. He stood beside Kevin Garnett, and so he got a championship ring standing beside Kevin Garnett, and people want to act like he was a factor. He was a placeholder. He was about 6'10", 6'11", bulky guy, so he could defend pick and rolls and set. Well, I wouldn't say defend pick and roll, but could help. He was good. Okay, help defender and could set decent screens and stuff. He basically didn't screw anything up. They basically told him, "Don't screw nothing up," and that's what he did.
Excuse my language when I say this. I remember in the finals that year we played the Celtics when he bitched out. Andrew Bynum was giving him that work. He acted like he was hurt that year. And they put Big Baby in. No.
Big Baby get knocked out.
Yeah. And then they traded, Oklahoma City traded Jeff Green for Kendrick Perkins. And at that time, everyone's going. Fortunately, it actually ended up working out because right after that, Jeff Green had an aneurysm and had to have open heart surgery. I mean, we didn't know that was going to happen. But as far as player, Jeff Green is by far the better player. But at the time they brought in Perkins, it was like all this blockbuster Oklahoma City trying to make a run to win it all. They brought in Kendrick Perkins. I'm like, he's just a guy. Yeah, that was like talking about at that time, he was regarded like as this elite defender / rebounder, and a lot of it was just by association.
They must have watched that year when Andrew Brown was giving that work.
I've seen plenty of people give work, but my point is, I'm not saying that you're wrong. What I'm saying is he was regarded as one of the better centers in the league, even though the production and his impact didn't reflect that. the fact that those Celtic teams were really good, and he was still the starting center on them, and he was there alongside Kevin Garnett. It was more that it was acclaimed by association. You know how sometimes when you're affiliated with someone, you get a rub off. Yeah, it's kind of like you get a rub off of them. Like for example, if you watch wrestling, your reputation based on your alignment, just being aligned with someone else. Like for example, Bret Hart and Jim Danville Neidhart. Jim Danville, there was nothing great about Jim Danville Neidhart, but the fact that he was aligned with Bret Hart, like the Hart Foundation. Yeah. So people think of Jim Danville Neidhart as this elite wrestler from back in the day, like this legendary wrestler. I was about to say the only reason we even know who Jim Danville Neidhart was is because he was tag team partners with Bret Hart early in their WWE. If you take that run with the Hart Foundation where he's not with Bret Hart, what did Jim Neidhart do after they split the Hart Foundation up? Nothing. I about to say Bret Hart went on to become a 5-time WWF champion. So Bret Hart ended up being a 2-time Intercontinental champion, 5-time WWF champion, 4-time United States champion, 2-time WCW champion. After all of that, Jim Neidhart was just the guy, but still, it's like, and Jim Neidhart dead and gone, so God rest his soul. But it's that greatness by association thing.
Yo, speaking of wrestling, did you hear that the Undertaker went to AEW?
No.
Yeah.
But
he's not. He can't use the name the Undertaker. He's got the.
Heard CM Punk was going.
The CM Punk thing, that's real. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, they're supposed to have legitimately signed with him. I don't know where you're going to start.
I think he's going for like 10 matches, but he can't use his name. He's got to go by the Mortician.
I ain't seen that must have been a joke or something. The Mortician, you know that got to be a joke, especially. With
I don't know, man.
Undertaker's not going to AEW. He just signed a 10-year extension with WWE last year, so as ambassador / semi-retired deal. I could confidently say that's not true about the Undertaker. The CM Punk and Daniel Bryan thing is believed to be true.
And they said Shawn Michaels was going, but I don't know how that is.
That's not true. Shawn Michaels is a trainer at NXT, and Triple H's best friend. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get people out. Well, I know they said the company was for sale, allegedly.
It's not on the market or nothing. People are speculating that, but it's not for sale as we speak. But back, listen. I want to, because I don't want to put out false stuff. The CM Punk thing, that's believed to be true. I want to talk about that for a second. Their Friday night show Rampage is going to debut in Chicago at the United Center on, I think, August the 14th. I feel like CM Punk's going to show up there. Even with last night on Dynamite, when they announced it, the fans of Charlotte started cheering CM Punk. The Daniel Bryan thing is believed to be true too. Those are two major signings. Those are headline main event type signings. Those aren't like signing. That ain't like.
Didn't they get Braun Strowman too? That guy that was.
No, he ain't. No, they haven't signed him. Actually, WWE's thinking about bringing him back. So he's still a free agent right now. They were in negotiations, I think, with him, but I think it's one of those things where he hasn't decided whether what he's going to do yet. But WWE is interested in bringing him back. But the signing Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, that's not like signing Aleister Black. That's like a major big deal signing.
Yeah.
That's
Jim Ross was on 610 yesterday morning, or either Wednesday. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday morning.
Probably yesterday because AEW was in Charlotte yesterday.
Yeah, they was talking about it. So they get a lot of little. I say.
Yeah, but the CM Punk sign, that's a big deal. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal there.
And Daniel Bryan. But when you talk about CM Punk, you're talking about one of the top drawing guys in the industry. That's not like signing Rusev or signing no disc. That ain't like Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. That's like the you talking as Macho Man would say.
It was like he was up there with The Rock and
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Champion for over a year, so
right.
He was John Cena and those guys.
Yeah, that's what CM Punk was like up there with, like you said, in the tier with John Cena and them guys. That's a big time.
John Cena is back again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been gone for a while, so it's good to see him back, man. I can't miss you if you don't go away. So,
that's true.
Good to see him.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna win, but good to see him.
Well,
Goldberg back for the 18th time again, too.
Nah, I'm not happy to see Goldberg back. I'm about to say, I thought they were going to do Lashley versus Lesnar, But they're gonna do Lashley versus Goldberg. I'm
I
like,
don't want to. I'd rather see Lashley and Lesnar go ahead.
that was supposed to be like the big draw. Like Lashley, two MMA guys. Lesnar was big time in UFC. Lashley did his thing in Bellator. They both got the shoot fighting background. They're both big body guys. You got Paul Heyman. You got MVP. Like
it makes for a better story.
Yeah, can you imagine Paul Heyman the MVP? Can you imagine Paul Heyman the MVP going off on the mic at each other and stuff? I mean, that was the one. Maybe they could get it at Survivor Series, but I'm like Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. 54-year-old Goldberg who gonna wrestle like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and get you hurt.
Yeah, but I'm like really Goldberg.
Out of all people,
Goldberg. I'll say this: going back, looking at it whenever he was wrestling back in the late '90s, looking at it now, that was the most overrated wrestler I ever seen in my life.
Thank you.
True, but at the time they had him wrestling. He wasn't there to be Ric Flair, that kind of wrestler. He
wasn't there. Yeah,
he was there. What he was then, that's what he was supposed to be. This big, explosive guy. Yeah, this and the way that they presented him, they did it right. They knew that he couldn't do all this other stuff. We knew that he couldn't have a 30-minute. We knew that he wasn't gonna put on a match like Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. That ain't what he could do. No one. They knew what he could do, so they focused on what he did well and just focused on that, which is what you're supposed to. Instead of trying to turn him into something that he's not. Like, no, he wasn't going to be doing figure fours and sharpshooters.
No.
But just to think like now, like, man, he didn't do nothing spectacular except the spear and then
jackhammer.
Yeah,
couple throws to the ropes, couple, hip tosses. That's it.
Yeah, and he did a little roundhouse kick too. But
that's the one that's fucked Bret Hart up.
Yeah, the best. Yeah, gave him that concussion. Yeah.
Bret Hart mad about that too. I think that ended his career.
Yeah, he wrestled a little bit after that, but still, he eventually ended his career. Bret Hart's mad at everybody. Bret Hart is like the most bitter dude you ever. Like when you watch those documentaries, man, he just looks miserable.
He's the saddest Canadian I ever met.
Yeah, he married he married a black chick that's like our age, Nick.
Yeah, I seen her. On Red Lamp. Never mind.
Yeah, man, she's like our age. She's like 33 or something like that,
man. Well, hey, this guy did it too, but not with a black
woman. Hey, well, you're a billionaire. You can do that.
That's true.
He can have
he can have 10 wives we want him. I mean, you're a billionaire, man. Hey, big like what did JC say? There's no such thing as an ugly billionaire. I'm cute. That's she said. Ain't no such thing as an ugly billionaire. He said, I'm cute.
Oh God, that went sideways quick. Let me get back into football. That went sideways quick. Hey, but I mean it's true though. I mean, she is our age. When I first seen his first wife, I was like, "That's not his first wife."
Bret Hart got him some chocolate.
Yeah, I'm proud of Bret.
Yeah,
Bret knows the deal. He knows the same.
Hey, I asked her one time. I was like, "Yo, did Bret keep you satisfied?" You know what she said? She said he's the best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be.
Salute.
The excellence of execution.
Yeah.
Sorry for getting you off topic.
Hey, we good, man. Hey, we just having fun, baby. We're gonna get back into football because we big off the road hard, but that's how we do. I'm just gonna go break down East Conference. Well, East as a division. I'm sorry, I break that down. And who you think will win that division? I'm gonna start in the NFC. Let's start NFC West. Who you got win the NFC West?
Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle.
I wanted somebody to say the LA Rams, but dang, but I'm still
I'm
going to say
not,
it.
I'm not sold on the LA. Yeah,
Nah.
I don't believe in Matt Stafford, but go ahead.
yeah. Matt Stafford just played on. I hate to say it. Not saying he's a good quarterback, but that was the best thing. They say he's the best thing there
Yeah, yeah.
in Detroit at the time. You know, they ain't really had nobody since the Megatron.
We
So
miss you, Calvin.
yeah.
NFC East,
Whew.
Washington.
No, let's roll the dice.
I'm going Washington. Unfortunately, I'm not sold on Dallas. I never will be. So Washington. Tyrell has no comment.
Yeah, I'm not. That's just like one of those.
He's not even gonna answer this question. I know. Oh wait a minute, he fell out.
Is he there?
Yeah, he fell out.
Uh,
I got you.
all right, well, I'm
Hold
hearing double.
on. I
Yeah,
got
okay,
you.
now.
All right.
Do I
Yeah,
sound more?
NFC East.
yeah, NFC East. I got Washington.
I guess Washington.
I hate to say it. I don't like it. I don't know, man. I just think I don't know. Dallas.
But
Mm.
If Woodcock can stay healthy, that's my main thing.
He already got hurt from what I heard. Something
Shoulder's
happened to his
hurting.
shoulder.
That's kind of problematic too. Shoulder. And the last person I knew had a shoulder issues. He
Yeah, I mean,
not to avail that's something. I mean, guys take hits, but I don't know. That's always a division that you say this team and it end up being totally opposite of who you think.
I just go with Washington because they got the better. That's probably the best defense in that
Yeah,
division.
defense wise, I would say yeah.
Washington got the better defense. Not secondary, but front seven. Yeah, they got that. What was it? NFC North, Minnesota.
No,
Green Bay.
hey, Green Bay. Think Green Bay.
You really think Green Bay for the winning division?
He on a mission.
If Aaron
If he play,
He's gonna play.
if Aaron Rodgers suit up, they'll win it.
yeah, if he suit up, yeah, but will he suit up?
I think he's gonna play, man.
They just reconciled that yesterday.
And he got Cobb back today in practice. So I mean, he got one of the guys he wanted to come in.
All right, I'm about to exit. I'm about to exit again because I'm hearing double.
Hold up, let me see what I got in there. Let me see if I can get this one. Why is this one still on here? Can you hear double now?
Let me see. I think I'm good.
Okay, I got it out. We good.
Okay, but first of all, as long as Kirk Cousins is your quarterback, you can't bet on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
He's another one of those. He's a fantasy football guy. He's gonna give you everything you want for your fantasy. If you
30 points,
yeah, on your fantasy football team, he's gonna give you everything you need. But if you're trying to win real football games, you're gonna be disappointed.
Oh yeah, I got to get signed up for somebody's fantasy league. Y'all doing one? Anybody doing one this year?
I've never played, man. I ain't got time for all
that. Oh, okay. You doing good?
I might do one myself this year. Since I did the NBA last year.
Yeah.
Well, this year, brother.
I did horrible.
I might do it again. I don't know yet. I'm gonna see how it goes. I mean, it's gonna be a better season, so.
Yeah, because last year was kind of like
the COVID and all that going on. So I might go ahead and do it one myself this year.
I ain't know nobody, so you can if you need me, I'll be there.
All right, yeah, I'll start one. I'm just trying to think if I want to do ESPN or the NFL Network one.
NFC South.
Tampa.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Tampa.
I'm like, even And it's not like I think they're going to be that great, but it's like, who else you got? I don't think Atlanta's going to be any good. I don't think we're going to be any good, and I don't think
New Orleans is in.
New Orleans is
I
in
think
Chicago
I
right
think what all they got, because they still got a good defense and got the running attack. If they go with
quarterback.
Taysom Hill, they're not. If they go with Taysom Hill, they're not going to win many games. If they go with Winston can still get them to the playoffs. Just because what happened, they'll just have him playing conservatively. They won't have him just. They won't put him in position to throw 30 interceptions in the season. They'll kind of take the conservative approach and just kind of lean on the running game and just have him play game manager, kind of like Alex Smith with his last run with the 49ers type thing.
Yeah.
So maybe New Orleans, but I'm going to say Tampa. New Orleans won division last year, even though Tampa, of course, went on to win the ultimate prize.
I think Bucks, maybe the Panthers.
I don't
That's a
believe
big
it.
maybe.
I don't believe in Sam Darnold.
You don't believe in him?
I don't believe in him at all. I think I'm not gonna say what I really want to say, but I think the city of Charlotte.
He's
the city of. Hold on, let me word it carefully.
Okay.
The city of Charlotte wanted a quarterback so long who fits the mold of what Charlotte thinks a quarterback, the mold of what Charlotte looks at as a quarterback. They've been longing for someone.
They've been wanting that for a long time.
Yeah, and they finally, because even here's the thing about the Bridgewater thing. The only reason that I think Carolina signed Bridgewater last year is to make the way they did Newton, to make it look like it didn't have anything to do with what Newton looked like. They went ahead and got Bridgewater. The same way with East Carolina, when they fired Ruffin McNeil, they turned around and hired Scotty Montgomery. Everybody knew that was a terrible hire, but at the time they hired Scotty Montgomery so it wouldn't look like, to make sure when they fired Ruffin McNeil that no one could accuse them of saying, "Oh, you fired him because of blah blah blah." It's like, no, we just hired Scotty Montgomery. The same thing with Bridgewater. They brought him in for that year to make it look like, hey, just so you know, it didn't have nothing to do with that. We brought in Teddy.
Oh shoot!
And like, what?
Sorry.
What happened?
Hornets got book night.
Who?
The Charlotte Hornets got book night. James Book night.
I don't know who he is, but I see that. It's from UConn.
Weird.
I just don't know him.
I don't know.
I think that's a trade. Some trades get ready to happen. Sorry, fellas.
They compare. They're saying pro player comp Jordan Clarkson. Yeah, where you got him, man. That sounds good. Anyway, with the whole Sam Darnold thing, you got to realize Sam Darnold's on the darling quarterbacks out of USC, the real USC, not the bumps in Columbia. Sam Darnold, one of those darling USC quarterbacks, always like Carson Palmer, like Matt Leinart. What's one of them other
Kitna?
got?
No, the Kitna didn't go to USC. I about to say Kitna.
I don't know where John Kitna went, but my point is those darling, the guy that played for the Jets, the other one that played for the Jets, Mark Sanchez.
Oh yeah,
all them. Yeah, they loved them USC pretty boys, and so it's one of those things. Went to the Jets. He was like a third overall pick or something like that. Anyway, high pick. Played a couple years with the Jets, completely bummed out, and they're looking like, well, we bring him down here in our situation, he could flourish. So it's like getting the first pick in the draft without having to use the first pick in the draft type thing. That's how they're looking at it. And you got bring him down here with Joe Brady, a good offense coordinator. You got good receivers down here, good running back, probably one of the best running backs in the league, if not the best. I think they're looking at it like it's like watch him come down here and flourish. I don't think he's any good. I think he might even be gun shy from his time with the Jets. I think he's gonna flame out like any other USC quarterback, and I don't believe in him. And so he might put up decent numbers, because with Joe Brady's offense, the numbers might be there, but I don't think he's gonna win a lot of games. So
yeah, I was about to say I see him having a decent game.
And they got his numbers his yards and stuff like that'll be fine, and completion percentage and all that look nice. They got to protect. The defense has improved. If Denzel Perryman is healthy and can play up to his potential, you got to. Of course, he's not going to be Luke Kuechly, but at least you got a good middle linebacker. But that Whitehead guy last year, that was just like having me at the linebacker.
That was the worst. The worst.
You brought in that edge rusher from the Cardinals. Guy had 11.5 sacks. You bring him in, and the thing about it, you brought him in on a 1-year deal that wasn't worth much. So now he's still got to be motivated to prove it again to get a big contract. So that was a smart move. You're bringing him in. Derek Brown got another year under his belt. Your draft pick, who was very good. Do they? I know that. Yeah, Burns has been very good too. If they, Jeremy Chin got a year under his belt. If they play well, if they play up to their potential and they can mesh, I don't know about defense coordinator Phil Snow. You bring in that old sorry college defense coordinator when Baylor's defense was sorry as could be, and then now you ask him to come lead the defense in the NFL. But whatever. So Matt Rule to me seems more like a salesman than a coach, but I'll get into that later. And he's a liar too. He's a college coach and salesman that need to be out and who needs to be coaching college football recruiting. That's what he needs to be doing. But anyway, but as far as the talent wise, that defense should be a top 10 defense if they play up to their potential. Keyword: if they play up to their potential. So maybe the defense can help Darnold out a little bit, but I don't believe in him. I don't believe in Matt Rule, and I really don't think this is a playoff team. And I hope I'm wrong.
All right, let's go to the AFC. AFC North.
Who plays in the AFC North? Oh, Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to say the Pittsburgh Steelers by default.
So, okay. So that's including Browns. Who else is in there? Cincinnati.
Yeah. It's 4 teams. The Browns, Steelers. It's the Browns, the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Ravens. You could argue it might end up being the Ravens, but I'm saying the Steelers is. But if it is the Ravens, that's coin toss.
I'm gonna say Ravens or Browns.
Yeah, it's all depends on how the Steelers. It's gonna have to go through the Steelers one way or the other. Where depending on what kind of year has.
Roethlisberger. He on his last leg now.
Yeah, that was it. He's on the last leg. I mean,
that joker throw 5 interceptions in the game in a heartbeat.
Quick.
Depends on where he comes out. He's already RoboCop out there with all the equipment, braces and stuff. So, yeah, I still say the Steelers. I mean, they always stout. I mean, that's one thing you can always say about them. They always
go 11-0 and fucking lose all the games at the end of the year.
Well, that's what happened last year, ain't it? Didn't it start like 11-0?
11-0 and pissed the rest of the season away. They thought they had the
Yeah.
Super Bowl one at week 11.
Yeah, but they were winning. I mean, they weren't looking that smooth in a lot of those games, but they still won them. Then they lost at home to Washington. Then Buffalo beat the brakes off of them.
Listen, you shaking your head at the Browns. The Browns played half-ass decent last year.
They have good defense and a good running attack. There's still question marks about the quarterback. And by the way, he's not garbage, but he's not great either. He's just okay.
He had some good games and he had some bad games. That was him all last year. That was typical.
Yeah, I mean he's okay. He's okay. Like he's not like trash, but he's not like an all pro. And he's all right. He's just okay.
Who's that side? This is North. It's with AFC South.
Tennessee. The Indianapolis Colts.
Oh. Who's their starter?
Carson Wentz.
Oh, that is right.
Yeah, Carson Wentz.
I think he'll translate better in.
You put him in a good situation, he'll be fine. Carson Wentz is the white Cam Newton. Put him in a good situation, he'll be fine.
He in a good one. He in a great situation.
I'm gonna stick with Tennessee. I just think their defense, and they're not bad off. They're not a passing team, of course, like we discussed earlier, but they definitely are, a team.
Hand that ball to Derrick Henry, that's something, and just let him just pound it.
Just give him the ball. Just give 22 the ball.
You just drag people, man. That's like the old school ball watching that.
That's
if
a
it
hard
works.
Yeah, all right. You give him the ball 6-7
and
times in the game. You
and
get 300 yards.
and
You
because
work
of him,
for
Ryan Tannehill gets to steal money.
it. Yeah. Shout out to Ryan Tannehill. Oh, what was I say? South AFC East. I got to be unbiased, so Buffalo.
I'm gonna say New England.
I'm gonna say Buffalo. Unbiasedly, my bias size wants to say New England, but unbiasedly,
I
I'm
think
going to say Buffalo.
New England should be very good. They got all the pieces back. Last year they led the league. What people forget about New England last year, they led the league in opt outs. They had 8 opt outs, including
Yeah, most of
two.
defenses.
Yeah, well, let me get to the bigger part. 2 starting offensive linemen opted out, and 6 starters on defense opted out. I was about to say they still end up like what 7-9. I
Yeah.
think with the additions that they've made, they should be strong on offensive line. They should be very good defensively. Those two, they brought in some weapons offense. Aguilar brought in a couple of tight ends. I think they could win their division with and have a good team. Now, granted, now if they're starting a rookie quarterback, I take that back. But I'm operating that Belichick at least will start. Now I feel like
He
Belichick could
will
go into
start
the.
Cam, of course.
Well, that's what I'm getting ready to say. I think he's going to go into the season with Newton, but Newton's got to play though. I'm about to say Newton can't.
Yeah,
He can't get off to a slow start. He gotta hit the gates ready to go.
because let me tell you this, I see it happening. I'm just gonna put it out there. I give Cam, if he ain't tightened up by week 3, he gonna
Yep.
pull him. He pulling.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He got to be ready to go out the gates.
Yeah, you're right. Bill will pull
It ain't
him.
yeah, it ain't like but I think that you're gonna see a good Newton because he knows this is the first time ever in his career that they've had someone right behind him who's like
Decent, good,
ready. I'm
yeah.
talking about that's ready to compete for. In Carolina, you knew that Derrick Anderson was never going to be the starter for the most part. When he got there last year, you knew that Brian Hoyer and Jarrett Stidham couldn't be. But now you got a guy they drafted first round pick at quarterback. Even though I'm not that big on Mac Jones from Alabama, but my point is he's still a first round draft pick who everyone's high on.
He was
He
under a
knows,
good coach. He's under a
yeah.
Belichick tree, so
So
he got something saving. Give him a little bit of credit.
yeah, I ain't no Alabama quarterback to be worth a damn. But and the jury's still out on Tagovailoa. He was hurt last year, but they still went like 6-3 with him as a starter. I don't see what everybody's seeing Mac Jones. I feel I'm not talking about NFL. I'm talking basically Alabama. He had a great offensive line, the best wide receivers in college football, the best running back in college football, the best defense in college football. I mean, he had everything around him when he had no choice but to get. All he did was just throw the ball up. And what's the name of that receiver? And they played Alabama.
Stewart.
The other one, he was
Devontae
first.
Smith.
Devontae Smith. Yeah, all he did was just throw it up, and Devontae Smith to run under it and get it. Just chucking the ball. That's all he did. Most of that, off a play action where they run the ball, then he was chucking downfield to Devontae Smith. The NFL isn't quite like that. And now I'm not saying that the guy is not talented, but I wonder is he going to be one of those guys who'll be working on ABC.
And I'll say this because we brought the Tua situation. I don't think Tua was going to go to Alabama. I think Tua was supposed to go to USC, but something happened with USC at the time.
He looks more like a USC guy.
I think was it USC under a lot of restrictions?
They were on that sanction still at the time when he was coming in.
That DJ Ungala from Clemson, he looked like a USC guy too, but still.
What you saying, man?
I can't pronounce it. DJ Ungala. You know what I'm talking about? The guy from Clemson. That big joke. Yeah, you joke about a big and Rohan Davis.
Wow.
Well, I can't pronounce it. Them guys have some Tongavai, yeah, I can't pronounce any of that. You remember that guy, Tuiasa Sofo, that used to play for the Raiders?
Yep.
Backup quarterback. Yeah. Did he play at USC?
I don't know if he played at USC or not.
He just looked like a USC guy.
If not, he went to UCLA. I
can see that too. The one of California boys. I can't even think of his first name, but I know his last name was Tuiasa Sofo.
You know it was so weird. Nah, I'm gonna
Well,
shut up because I can't
yeah.
say that.
Yeah,
I'm
leave it
going
alone.
down
Leave it
that
alone.
rabbit hole.
Let's go to the next division.
Yeah, let's go to the next division. What was it? AFC West. San Diego.
Well, they're playing Los Angeles now, but
Well, Los Angeles. I'm sorry. I get
uh, I want to say the Kansas City Chiefs, but when you lose 2 Pro Bowl starting tackles, you lose an All-Pro left tackle and a Pro Bowl right tackle, or All-Pro left tackle and a Pro. You lose an All-Pro right tackle and a Pro Bowl left tackle. Eric Fisher and not Jeff Schwartz. I can't stand Jeff Schwartz. His brother, Mitchell Schwartz. People don't understand losing 2 starting tackles, especially an All-Pro and a Pro Bowl, 2 Pro Bowl tackles. That ain't just like replacing a punter. I don't care how good your quarterback is and all that, and he ain't got nobody to stand up and protect him. And then people gonna be wondering what's going on with Patrick. Is he losing it? Like what happened? Maybe that Super Bowl loss got him. No, just like he ain't got nobody to block for him.
He ain't got nobody on his left or his right.
And that's and you're gonna. I feel like this year you're gonna. I'm not saying that he's not gonna be good because I think he's still good enough to where kind of like Aaron Rodgers, where he could be that deodorant to where he could still maybe get you there. I mean, like in playoff contention and win games. But I think this is gonna be the worst year of Patrick Mahomes' career. And not saying he's gonna have a bad year, but I think he's gonna throw more picks. I don't think he's gonna be like when people like to talk about already he might be the greatest of all time. That talk is gonna cease this year because now he's gonna be where he doesn't have time to throw the ball. I want to say the Chiefs are gonna win that division because I don't think the Raiders are gonna win it. I don't think the Chargers with a second-year quarterback gonna win it. Is Anthony Lynn still coaching the Chargers? Or did they fire him?
They fired him.
Who they got now coaching them?
I forgot my guy's name.
Don't worry about it.
He been in the NFL coaching. I think last job he had, he was in
Who the Broncos got a quarterback?
Right now, Drew Lock.
They got Bridgewater. Who knows?
Yeah, Bridgewater.
When you put it, would a good Bridgewater start over Drew Lock because Drew Lock just ain't shown nothing. Well, I don't know. Drew Lock was a first-round draft pick, and he fits the mold of Colorado. And
come on, man.
They'll probably start. It'll be if Bridgewater's the starting quarterback, Denver might win that division. Because think about it, Bridgewater doesn't have to be great there. Just like Bridgewater was in New Orleans and in Minnesota, he was still able to win games because he's a good game manager, and as long as the defense is good and you're able to run the ball, he's going to still make enough throws, keep drive going, going to be efficient and not going to hurt you. So I can
defense, as far as Denver's defense, they should be decent.
Then I can see Denver being a playoff team if Bridgewater's healthy. But right now, I'm still just going to play it safe and go with Chiefs.
Chiefs. I throw my arm out there and say Los Angeles. I will throw my arm out there.
Go Chargers. That's what Aaron Source said.
Chargers go. I think I named all the divisions. The West, East.
Wait, you said the West. You did AFC North. You did the AFC West.
Yeah.
We did East. Did we do? Yeah, we did South. So yeah, we did all 8.
Super Bowl.
I had no idea. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna say the New England Patriots versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That would be the draw, the money draw.
Yeah, the money draw.
I say New England Patriots versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. New England Patriots win it.
Cam Super Bowl champion.
Cam Newton. And then I feel like they still won't sign him back. They'll go with Mac Jones. Even if Newton is the starting quarterback, they'll probably still go with Mac Jones. Newton will at least be able to get another contract somewhere else. Perhaps might even return to Carolina if Darnold bombs out.
Perhaps.
Like I can see that happen and come back. One of those things, or he goes to Atlanta or something like that. I could see a scenario like that going back home, scenario like that playing out, or going to the football team. I can see this. I can see New England win the Super Bowl. They decide not to sign. They can't reach terms with Newton. They go ahead and go with Mac Jones for next year. Newton signs with the Washington football team, reunites with Ron Rivera
for a storybook ending.
Yep. And then Brady says F it and retires.
Yeah. Eventually.
He ain't gonna play forever.
I think he got 2 more years in him at the most.
Yeah, he got 2. It's 2 more years.
somebody gonna make that where it ain't no option for him. Somebody gonna roll up. Somebody gonna take a penalty and make the decision for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I think they're gonna. I hate to say it.
Somebody gonna take 15. Somebody gonna take them 15 because people scared to hit him. You gonna find Vontaze Burfict don't even play no more, do it?
Nope, he banned. He can't play no more.
That's the problem. Vontaze Burfict was still playing, and he was on the NFC South team. He would take the 15.
Greg, we would love Vontaze Burfict down there.
Somebody gonna take that bounty. Somebody gonna take that 15. Somebody gonna take 15 for the team. And a suspension and a fine. But somebody taking that 15. They're going to Joe Theismann that joke.
God, no, I don't want to go that bad, man. That's terrible. I would wish that on nobody. That was his league, Luke.
Like Alex Smith, that same thing. And it happened to Alex Smith on the anniversary of when it happened to Joe Theismann, and they both were playing for Washington. I'm like, dang.
But Alex Smith lost his life, though.
Yeah, because it's got a staff infection.
Yeah. He lost his freaking life.
He's in another mind state too, though. So he wasn't playing in his right mind more than likely.
Freaking out.
What you call it? What's his name? He broke Joe Theismann's leg.
No, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor probably was in another mind state.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he called for an ambulance as soon as he hit him. As soon as he saw it, he called for an ambulance.
He was alert. That's all I can say.
I love LT, man. I love LT. Y'all stop that, man.
Ain't he a convicted sex offender?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, because you remember he messed with that 19-year-old. No, she was like 17. She lied about her age and told him that she was 19, and she was like a prostitute. Lied, said that she was 19 when she really like 16 or something like that. And man, dude got a wife and everything. Man, he took like a plea deal, so he didn't go to prison, but he had to register on the he had to sign up on the registry for like 20 years or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh man,
dang, LT.
I'm like, man,
shit happens, bro. You know,
hey, he represents SO,
the water boy,
Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, like he said it when he was running that camp.
Dope. Yep, that's what you're talking about.
But by the way, but in all seriousness, with that LT situation, there's still no excuse for that, and of course, that's something that should be taken very seriously. And there's no place for that kind of behavior, and he put himself in that position, so that's the punishment that he got. And we have to remember that that we have to protect our young ladies and make sure that we value them and do all that we can in our power to keep them safe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so just wanted to make sure that we're not making a joke out of anything like that. We take that very seriously, and we do not endorse any kind of behavior of violence or harassment or assault towards women.
No, we don't. We don't know that. We were just talking about the fact that LT was probably out of his mind.
Yeah.
When he hit Joe Theismann. That's what the running joke was, y'all. That's what it was. But I don't wish that on nobody. That's man, good God. I'd rather him go out with a lot of just knick-knack injuries than go out with that injury.
Well, he finally retired, though, right? Alex Smith finally
retired. But I think that, but he came back and played some last year. He the one that helped them get to the playoffs. Got hurt again. Yeah, but then Taylor Heineke played in the game because
he screwed it up. Tampa Bay got the Super Bowl because of Taylor Heineke.
The game was like 31-23 though. I mean, he did enough. It's just they gave up 31 points. I guess Chase Young couldn't get to him.
No, he couldn't. It's just the fact that, now you say it like this, the man been to the playoffs probably more than people ever dreamed of going to the playoffs. So I guess, he treating it like it's another week in the NFL. I done lost them. I done won them. So it's kind of like it doesn't. I guess the feeling resonate for him is a lot different compared to like people that's like going to the playoffs for the first time. It's like nerves and all kind of adrenaline going. It's for him. It's just like, okay, let's just play this game.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
off topic,
I mean,
man, but I got a taste for some kombucha. I need to go get me some kombucha.
kombucha.
Yeah, you know, you get it at CVS, man. It's like this probiotic brew. Darren, you had any of that before?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's pretty good.
Yeah, come on, Nick. You gotta get on that, man. That take you energy and everything, man.
I've been taking them what they call them things? They like some kind of them
Yeah.
GNC vitamins. Them things.
You ain't talking about them little goalies, are you?
No, they like they come in like a pack. It's like a whole bunch of vitamins in a pack.
The
I
Vitapack.
don't know.
Yeah. Them it's got like 4 big horse ass pills in there, and it's like a little red pill.
Man, don't you fool around and get another baby with your love. Anyway, I like the goalies, and I like sometimes I do like the apple cider vinegar and stuff, man. You know, we in our 30s now, man, so we gotta take care of ourselves.
Yeah, that's what
Oh, yeah.
I've been doing lately. The last month or last week or so, get like 2 tablespoons of the Bragg's apple cider and vinegar,
Yeah,
8 ounces of water, a little bit of lemon juice. Shake it up and drink it.
Yep, there it is.
Clean yeah.
Darren, you done had got you another baby, so you know you get all the check mark.
Yeah, I'm done, man. That's it, y'all. I'm not gonna afford it, so I'm done.
I ain't even got started yet, so I'm chilling.
Take time.
I started late.
I'm being late bloomer like you. I'm already 33 and I ain't got none, so
yeah.
Take time.
No, trust me, I ain't in no rush.
There you go. Take that.
What's that? Don't rush. Slow
Don't
touch.
rush. Don't touch. Listen, don't be this guy.
Hey, well, you know he got grown. I know his niece, by the way. I went to college with her. But anyway, I guess he had closed up shop, but then I guess he came out of retirement there too. You know.
Twins on it.
Yeah, man. If he break up with that woman, if things don't work out that marriage, she could take him to the bank.
Listen, he went back to back on that one. So
you could take him to the bank.
Had twins.
Man, 50 years old and had twins. Like she could take it. But that young woman, she could take him to the bank if that divorce. He's a billionaire too, and she know it. He paid that first. He basically paid the first wife to leave him alone. Like here, take this money and leave me alone.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, well, he got lucky.
Yeah, that's crazy. When you got so much money to where you paying $300,000 a month in child support, so that's what 12 times 300,000. 12 times 3 is what 3.6 million. You got to pay $3.6 million a year, and you saying he got lucky. That's when you know you got a bunch of money.
Yeah,
he got lucky. He did. He got real lucky.
And she ain't got to work a day. You making $3.6 million.
She can't get remarried though.
Oh, well,
if she get remarried, she cut off.
Well, somebody might. Well, a lot of men probably ain't gonna try to remarry nowhere. They just gonna try to, just take advantage of her.
Did Eddie Murphy wife get off like that?
Which one?
No, the what's her name?
I'm not even gonna dignify that meme with the response.
The one is Nikki, not Nikki. What's her name? It's older kids. Oh, he married. She got a lot of money.
Wasn't he with Mel B from Spice Girls for a while?
He got a child by her.
Nicole.
Yeah, it might be Nicole.
It's Nicole.
Yeah.
Well, I think whoever the one he had, the girl that was in the Coming to America, the last one that came out, that was his daughter.
Yeah, I think that's Nicole.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, we done got to talk about a little everything today.
Hey, look, man, that's what I said. Good conversation, man. It just goes a long way, man.
Yeah.
It just leads to different stuff.
Yeah, this here seemed more like we at the barbershop just BSing around.
Yeah. Like,
I took tomorrow also. I might go to the barbershop tomorrow. I went over to I drove by there today and I saw yellow tape and stuff around there, so I hope they take that down so I can get my haircut tomorrow.
Oh shit.
No, caution, not because of the scene.
Oh,
Where you going?
the Fades forward.
No, man. No, those are law-abiding citizens there, man. They good men over there at the cutting room, man. Good men. Shout out to Will. Shout out to Dwayne. Shout out to Warwick. Shout out to Slim. Shout out to the other guys who work there whose name I don't know. Shout out to Arnold. Shout out to all of them. The cutting room, University City Boulevard.
Yo, salutes to All Work No Play, man. Y'all go sub up to his channel too, man. He out here doing big things.
Real talk, I heard he's a great guy, man. I heard he's a winner in life.
Oh yeah.
Hey, he just like Christian Cage, outwork everybody.
outwork everybody, yo. Outwork everybody.
That's a Christian guy. You see them t-shirts? Oh, down about outwork everybody. I'm like, I hear you.
God.
Word.
Okay. I'd have bought one themselves for the hell of it. You know what?
He went to work one day and like, okay, Nick, we like your attitude, Nick. We're gonna give you a promotion. You outwork everybody. Your boss will be like, I like that, Nick. Outwork everybody. Where do you get that from? I like it.
They know I'll be lying like hell. I work though.
Just not you just go outwork everybody.
I ain't gonna outwork everybody. Cause then they want you to do all the work.
And I'm like, Nick, hey Nicholas, man, we really love your work ethic, man. We love your outwork everybody attitude. How would you like to be promoted?
Yeah, think about that. Let me tell you about promotions. I don't even know why I'm getting into promotions, but let me tell you about promotions.
Commas.
Yeah, they come with commas, but it comes with a headache too. You got to know what headache you want to take.
Hey, I got promoted back in May, and I took that headache. I saw them commas and them zeros, and I was like,
sometimes like I said, you got
I won't turn that down.
To outweigh the headache. That's how I look at it too.
Yeah, I won't turn that down. When I saw that and saw what they were offering, I was like, and they were like, "Do you need time to think about it?" I said, "No, I don't need time to think about nothing. Send it to me so I can sign it and send it back to you before y'all change your mind."
The hardest work.
You know, it comes with a little bit more responsibility. So I work around it.
I figured that when I saw what they were offering, they told me, "Do you need time to think about it?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Can you go ahead and send it so I can return it back to you before you change your mind?"
That's how I got the motto. I work smart, not hard.
That's right. Outsmart everyone.
Yeah,
outsmart everybody. Yeah.
They be like, "You so calm at work." I know. That's a whole new job that I'm on now. So, and people look at me like, "Why you so calm?" They be so panicky. Like my job, we don't actually have set hours, but we just have to be there at least 4 hours out the day. So we might work 16 hours now, or 12 hours, and they be like, "Man, we've been all day." I'm like, "Dude, I used to work this. This ain't nothing. It don't bother me."
Outwork everybody.
Like that's what I'm saying.
Workhorse.
Yeah, it don't bother me. Like they not used to working 10 or 12 hours, so they get like agitated. I'm like, dude, I used to do this weekly basis. 12 hours, that's normal.
Hey, I'm gonna cut a promo about you like I'm your manager. See, let me tell you something about Nick Dunlap. When he comes out to the ring, he's going to outwork everybody. And one thing I tell you, win, lose, or draw, you're going to know that you were in a battle and you're going to know that you've been outworked. And I'm going to tell you something about Nick Dunlap. He's a workhorse. He doesn't leave any stone unturned. It's not fancy. It's not cute. It's not sexy. But one thing about it, he's going to bring his lunch pail every day. And he's going to work his tail off. And he's going to outwork everybody.
That's me. Every stone unturned. All of them. I get work hard everybody. What's that?
He's a worker. He worked. They're like, man, Nicholas just works so hard, man. He outworks everybody.
It's just work. Now I get work, man. I work, man. I ain't gonna lie, but I ain't gonna sit there watch people look at me work. I will walk on.
You one of the good boys. They like you. Like, hey, Nick, he's one of the good ones, man. I tell you, he just outworks everybody.
Feels like, yeah, I work. But one people, I tell you, bro, the only thing I hate about going to work some days, I work, and then people look at you working, not working. I'll go to the bathroom so quick, and I'll stay in about 15 minutes.
When you
Going
say
there.
what you looking at? Oh, what's your phone number?
Like, y'all be staring at me working, and y'all not doing that. I'm finna go to the bathroom, and I'll be back when I feel y'all. And I come back, and they be working.
Okay, that's the formula.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, you at work, say if you at work. It's your job. You see your coworkers not working, but they're looking at you. You feel some type of way?
Yeah, I feel some type of way.
But I
Just like
get
that car, just like that car I'm driving, make them feel some type of way.
it.
Man, hustle. Ain't no telling what he'll do for the paper. Ain't no telling. Oh man, I ain't got nothing else for you, man. I done said everything I gotta say.
Yeah. We had an hour and 40 more. We've been up here a long time.
I barely hear you, Nick.
Oh, can you hear me now? Hold up.
I hear you great now.
Yeah, I think my mic was covered up. Yeah, we've been up here for an hour and 40 minutes. We've been up here a long time.
Yeah, talking about nothing.
Yeah, talking about that. But shout out to everybody that came through listening to us talk about nothing. Tony C. Shout out to my boy CM Pump. CM Pump.
CM Punk.
Pump.
CM
CM
Punk.
Pump. All work, no play. Y'all go sub up to his channel. Y'all also go sub up to my boy Tony C at Let Me Hold Something. That's the name of his channel, Let Me Hold Something.
I remember one time a coworker asked me to let him hold something. I said, "You can hold my bags."
Like, yeah, I got some bags. I got some bags. Let me stop. I can't be saying that stuff. This is a family oriented YouTube channel.
Bag lady,
You done lost your
hurt
bag.
your bag, dragging all them bags like that.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all the flow, man. T, talk to him.
Hey, man. Once again, just want to see everyone prosper. Want everyone to continue to be safe. Again, let us remember to stay focused on whatever goals, whatever achievement we have at hand. Like I said the last week, don't wait till tomorrow. As we've seen what's happened over the last year and a half, tomorrow could be robbed from you. So remember, whatever you have in place, go forward. There's never a perfect time to do what you're setting out to do. So if you're waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect time, there is no perfect time. When you're trying to achieve greatness, when you're trying to accomplish something, when you're trying to better yourself, the perfect time is now.
Salutes, man. Salutes. D.
Like always, just be thankful. You're blessed regardless of how everything is going. Just wake up with a positive attitude every day. Make every day your best. Love everyone. Show love, and love be showed back to you.
Yes,
And just
sir.
Amen.
all at that point, just live life to the fullest, and just be thankful, like it's for everything that's around you. When you feel like you don't have what you need, the man above will restore that for you.
Amen.
So, like you said, we've been through some unfortunate times almost these last 2 years. Just glad to be able to talk to you guys the way we are now. Some people are unfortunate, never, didn't get a chance to make it, due to unforeseen situations. So just be thankful for what you got and love.
Love, baby. Love, baby.
Never love.
Okay, let me go ahead and close this bad boy out. So I want to say, as I said last week, man, be thankful for what you got. Because you never know how much you shall appreciate it until it's gone.
Yes, sir.
And oh yeah, we are doing a giveaway. Y'all definitely go enter this raffle. Sub up to the channel.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook group. Check me on Instagram. Send me a screenshot that people been sending them today. I think I got like 4 or 5 today. But y'all keep bringing them in, man. Like I said, we growing and we going. But y'all don't want to miss out on this giveaway because I put a lot of effort into this one. So y'all don't want to miss out on that. Plus, OJ Simpson plus Bill Cosby equals NBC locking your black ass up. And Ricky had a full ride scholarship to USC. That's all I got to say. With that being said, man, we up out of here. We'll see y'all next week.
See you.
Same bat time.
Same time, baby.
All right.
All right.
Good night, fellas. Good night, world.
Peace out.